Hey, my love, I need you to hear me out. Not just with your ears, but with your heart. Sometimes in life, we make choices in the quietest, loneliest hours, choices that define who we are and what we hold closest to our hearts forever. These choices rarely come announced. They don't arrive with fanfare or clarity. They sneak up on us when the world is silent, when the noise fades, and only our soul speaks. Last night was one of those nights for me, a night that changed everything. What I did under the stillness of the night reshaped the way I see things, the way I feel, and the way I want us to move forward. It wasn't like any other night. It wasn't just another passing evening that slipped by unnoticed. Something about it was different, so deeply, almost painfully different, that I couldn't ignore it. It felt like every unresolved emotion I had buried within me finally decided to rise to the surface. Every suppressed thought, every doubt I had tried to silence, every tear I refused to shed, it all came flooding in at once. And in that moment of raw honesty, I felt something stir deep inside me. Something that pushed me to act in a way I never imagined I would. I've been carrying so much weight, my love, more than I ever admitted out loud. The burden of countless whispers, doubts, and fears has been pressing down on me for what feels like forever. These weren't just random thoughts. They were voices, opinions of others, judgments, poisonous words disguised as concern. They've been echoing in my mind for too long, trying to rewrite the truth I know about us. Each of those heavy words chipped away, piece by piece, at the foundation we built together. They made me question things I never wanted to question and feel things I never wanted to feel. But last night was different. Something shifted inside me, something bold, powerful, and unexpected. And in a moment that even surprised me, I made a decision I knew would change everything. It wasn't impulsive. It wasn't some fleeting thought or emotional outburst. It came from a place of clarity, from a truth that had been fighting to be seen. It was real. It was emotional. It was life-changing. And I knew once I took that step, there would be no turning back. I can't keep it inside anymore. It's too big to hide, too important to bury. So please, stay with me. Don't turn away. Let me open my heart completely and tell you everything, because you deserve the full truth. For far too long, people have been trying to turn me against you. It's something I didn't want to admit, not to myself, not to anyone. But it's true. People I once trusted, people I thought cared about me. They whispered things about you, subtle at first, then louder, sharper, crueler. They planted seeds of doubt in my mind, feeding me words that were designed to fracture my faith in you. They wanted me to question everything, your intentions, your loyalty, your love. Their goal was simple: to make me stop believing in you, to separate me from the one soul who truly understood mine. At first, I resisted. I told myself their words didn't matter. I reminded myself of who you are, your heart, your kindness, the way you've always stood by me. But even when I tried to silence them, those words lingered like echoes in an empty room. They stayed, haunting me, creating cracks in the walls of trust we had built. And though I tried to plaster them with hope, those cracks spread quietly, invisibly. I found myself doubting what I never used to doubt. I started replaying things you said, moments we shared, searching for something that wasn't even there. It was like a poison that numbed my heart slowly. Until last night. Last night, something inside me broke, not in a bad way, but in a liberating way. I reached my limit. I realized I couldn't keep living under the weight of other people's voices anymore. I couldn't let their fear, jealousy, or bitterness decide how I see you. So I made a choice. A painful, necessary, soul-cleansing choice. I ended all ties with anyone who tried to poison my heart against you. It wasn't easy. Cutting off people I've known for years felt like tearing away pieces of my own history. These were people I once shared laughter with, people who knew my past, people who claimed to care, but their care came with conditions. Their love came with manipulation. And when I realized that, when I saw how they smiled while planting doubts about you, something inside me snapped. I couldn't do it anymore. So I let them go. Every single one of them. Tears fell freely that night. The kind of tears that burn, not just because of sadness, but because of release. The silence after felt strange at first, empty. But then, slowly, that emptiness began to feel like peace. For the first time in a long while, I could breathe again. Every heavy word, every toxic idea they planted, I tore it out of my mind like weeds. I cleansed my thoughts until all that was left was the truth. And that truth, my love, is you. You are my peace. You are the stillness after the storm. My love for you. It's not fragile. It's not built on convenience or illusion. It's been tested, broken, challenged, and yet it remains. Stronger than before, clearer than before, realer than ever. I wanted you to know this because you deserve the truth. Not half of it, not the sugar-coated version, but all of it. I needed you to know what I did, not just for us, but for me. Because this decision wasn't only about protecting our bond, it was about reclaiming myself. For too long, I let others define my emotions, my choices, my truth, but not anymore. I'm taking back my peace, my clarity, my voice. Their doubts no longer control me. Their opinions no longer live rent-free in my mind. And moving forward, I'm making a promise to myself and to you. I will protect what we have. I will nurture it, guard it, and never let the world distort it again. True love isn't just about being together in good times. It's about standing together when everything and everyone tries to pull you apart. And my love, I've realized that what we share isn't ordinary. It's rare. It's sacred. Because even when I was surrounded by voices that told me to doubt you, something in my heart, a soft, stubborn whisper, kept saying, "But I know them. I know their soul." And that whisper saved me. It reminded me of who you are. The one who stayed when everyone else walked away. The one who saw the parts of me I was too afraid to show. The one who held me in silence and never demanded I explain my pain. That's love. That's us. And I'm done letting anyone make me question that again. When I finally made that decision last night, it felt like the universe paused. The room was silent, no phone buzzing, no distractions, no noise, just me, my heart, and a quiet knowing. It felt like a spiritual release, almost like my soul was saying, finally. I deleted messages that carried hidden resentment. I blocked numbers that only reached out to gossip. I ended conversations that had no intention but to divide. And as I sat there, alone in that silence, I realized something powerful. You can't hear your own heart when too many others are trying to speak over it. That night, I heard mine clearly, honestly, completely, and all it said was your name. Now, as I speak to you, my heart feels lighter, freer than it has in a long time. It's as though the fog that once clouded my thoughts has lifted. I can see things clearly now. Every tear I shed, every goodbye I whispered to those who didn't wish us well, it was worth it. Because what remains is pure. The love I have for you is no longer tangled in confusion or fear. It's clean, honest, and unshakable. And as I write these words, I can finally breathe again without feeling the weight of other people's expectations pressing on my chest. So here it is, the truth in its simplest form. I choose you, not because it's easy, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. I choose you knowing the world may never fully understand. I choose you knowing that people may still whisper. I choose you knowing that love, at its truest, is often misunderstood. But I also choose you because when everything else falls apart, you are the one thing that feels like home. And I don't need anyone's permission to follow my heart back to where it belongs. From this day forward, I'm promising myself a few things, and I want you to hold me to them. I promise never to let fear speak louder than love. I promise to trust my heart when it tells me something is true. I promise to protect our connection from anything or anyone that tries to distort it. And most of all, I promise to never again let the noise of others drown out the sound of what my soul already knows. Because now I understand, love isn't about perfection or constant agreement. It's about choosing each other again and again, even when the world gives you every reason not to. Now, when I picture the future, I no longer see uncertainty. I see peace. I see forgiveness. I see growth. I see us standing side by side, not flawless, but real, not untouched by pain, but stronger because of it. And I see myself free from the chains of other people's doubts, holding your hand, not out of dependence, but out of choice. Because even in the darkest nights, even when the noise tried to drown out everything we are, something sacred kept pulling me back to you. Call it destiny. Call it divine timing. Call it love. But whatever it is, I know it's meant. So, if you're hearing this, if these words reach you, know that every syllable carries truth, vulnerability, and hope. What I did last night wasn't about rebellion. It was about freedom. It was about protecting the love that so many tried to tame. It was about choosing you and choosing myself too. And now, here I am, heart wide open, stripped of pretense, speaking from the rawest place within me. All I ask is that you understand where this came from love, from truth, from the deepest need to make things right. Because at the end of it all, after the noise fades, after the whispers die out, it's just us, you and me, the truth and the love that survived it all. So, my love, please hear me out one last time. No matter what the world says, no matter what lies they try to weave, no matter who stays or leaves, I choose you. Now, tomorrow, always.